What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about, breaking down, and giving out a prediction for the upcoming Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant fight. This fight will be for the undisputed super middleweight championship. And let's start with Caleb Plant first. Caleb Plant is a athletic fighter, a good amateur background. He's got good height and reach for the super middleweight division. I believe he's around 6'1", 6'2", in height. He's got pretty good hand speed, throws good combinations, and he's actually your typical boxer. He likes to use lateral movement. He likes to work off the jab, and he doesn't have much power, or seemingly does not have much power. He's got a few knockouts on his record, but he is not considered a devastating puncher by any means. His best win is probably when he won his world title, which is obviously the IBF strap, against Jose Escategli, who was a respected fighter at the time, and who himself won the title against a Durrell brother. And he recently, as we all know, Jose recently tested positive for a banned substance, but nonetheless, it was a very good win for Caleb Plant at the time, considering Jose's status in the super middleweight division. However, let's be real, Caleb Plant hasn't really, his opposition hasn't really been all that since winning the IBF title. He hasn't defended his belt against what we call premier opposition in the super middleweight landscape. Yes, I know some of them might have been mandatories, such as Caleb Truax, but I don't care about that bullshit. The bottom line is, Caleb Truax is a respected fighter, but he's by no means a top-notch fighter in the super middleweight division. Now, Caleb Plant, he's definitely the underdog going into this fight with Canelo. And considering the fact that he doesn't have much power, it's going to be difficult for him to win a decision, or pretty much impossible if we go by, the history of the sport. But, I don't want to delve into that too much right now. I just want to say that before I stop with Caleb Plant, and reiterate that he does have the style that historically troubles Canelo. He's good with the lateral movement. He has very good feet, and he works off the jab, and he's long. So we have to keep those things in mind. And we saw Lara; he was able to do it pretty good. That was an extremely close fight he had with Canelo, and Caleb is longer and much bigger than Lara is. And the reason why Lara lost that fight with Canelo, in my opinion, was because he just didn't throw. If he just would have thrown a few more punches per round, or just been a little more active, he would have clearly won that fight, in my opinion. So I don't see Caleb losing the fight because he refused to throw enough punches. He's not that kind of boxer. So that's an interesting dynamic that we got going on there. So let's move on with Canelo. Canelo, say what you want about him, he's a fantastic fighter, one of the best in this current generation. One of the best Mexican fighters to ever live, in my opinion. I think you can safely say that, even though his career is still in progress. He's former champion at 154, 160, 168, and 175. And he's cleaning up house at 168. He wants to become undisputed. Um, he he hasn't done that yet in his career. Um, he's very explosive style wise. Very compact build, quick hand speed. Um, very durable. He's got very good defensive skills to go along with that durability, and he's got great power. It seemingly got better and better as he went up in weight and got older. Because he clearly was not this kind of puncher when he was down at 54. I know we got good knockouts like the Kirkland and whatnot, but overall, he wasn't this kind of puncher at 54. Now, he was obviously cutting a lot of weight to get down to that weight class and all that stuff, so that probably definitely played a role when we're talking about punching power. And he also had stamina issues back then too that were a lot more prevalent. I think we could attribute the massive weight cut to those issues because those two areas, his punching power has gotten better as he's gotten older and gone up in weight, and same with his stamina. His stamina issues are no longer as prevalent. Arguably the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport right now. Say what you want. What else can I say about the guy? His weakness, his main weakness, however, is he's got problems tracking boxers down with good feet and a jab. And also, sometimes, he hasn't done this one in a while, but sometimes he tends to choose the wrong game plan going into the fight or during the fight, such as what we saw with Floyd Mayweather. He tried to so-called play chess with the chess player, and we saw how that turned out. You always fight the boxer and box the fighter. So I don't know what he was thinking there, but the point is, he's not only arguably the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport right now, but he's also the biggest star in the sport. He brings in the most amount of money to the sport than any other fighter right now, and so therefore it's very tough to win a decision against him. The only way you can beat Canelo in this day and age is if you knock him out. And look, it's kind of unfortunate because the kid doesn't need the help for the most part. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. Like I said, arguably the number one pound for pound right now. But the fact is, even we have seen him get outpointed in the past, or arguably get outpointed in the past, and he seems to always get the benefit of the doubt, especially in Vegas, where that's pretty much his home right there. So and that's where they're going to be fighting. He has kind of replaced Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao at the MGM Grand and in Las Vegas. So you got to knock him out to win at the MGM. And Caleb Plant is obviously anything is possible, but I don't see him doing that. So therefore, when I calculate all these things, I have to go with a win for Canelo Alvarez, and I expect him to be the undisputed super middleweight champion after this fight is over. Now, with that said, I do think that Caleb Plant will do a little better than Billy Joe Saunders. Stylistically, they may have some similarities. However, I think Caleb is hungrier and is at a different point in his career than Billy was when he fought Canelo. And he's also naturally bigger. He's more of a real super middleweight. So I wouldn't be surprised if he loses a decision or ends up getting stopped later. Well, there you have it, folks. thank you for tuning in as always. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, especially if you like my content. And check back with me soon. We got more stuff coming. Thank you. Peace. God bless.